Your best friend shows you this picture and they tell you this is the best Mexican food that they ever had. You look through the picture and then you see this. You're probably saying, why is the beans disqualifying this from being a good food? But it's not the beans, it's actually the cheese that's on here. If a place is using yellow cheese, that's the biggest indicator that the food is going to be fine if they're saying this is authentic Mexican food. Here's my reasoning. A lot of the Mexican cheeses that we use are actually white. So queso fresco, queso cotija, here's queso Oaxaca, and then queso panela. These cheeses are not really aged and they're pretty soft cheeses, so they're packaged up right away. There are some exceptions. Some Mexican cheeses are orange or yellow. Here is queso Chihuahua, which has a yellow tint to it, but they're nowhere near as vibrant as the cheeses in these pictures. The reason that they have bright orange or yellow cheeses on there is probably because they use this. A Mexican cheese blend. While the Mexican cheese blend does have some Mexican cheeses, you can see asadero and queso quesadilla there. They also have cheddar and Monterey Jack. To further understand my reasoning, we have to go back a couple years. There was a trend that was going around that had to do a lot with taco. White people taco night. White people taco night had tons of people making tacos on the For You page. It was a trend for months. And there's one thing that I noticed on all these videos. They all use Mexican blend cheeses or cheddar cheeses. Here's another Mexican blend. The only conclusion on why people were using this kind of cheese actually came down to one brand, Taco Bell. I actually think Taco Bell is fine sometimes. I used to be the mindset I hate it, but it's fine sometimes. Taco Bell uses this yellow cheese, sometimes white cheese, but they use it in the first introduction that people who have never had authentic Mexican food probably had their first taste of Tex-Mex food. Now, I'm not saying Tex-Mex food is bad, but when you say that this is the best Mexican food, my expectations are different than this is the best Tex-Mex food. And I know we're playing semantics, but this doesn't matter, so it's fine. And a lot of people are probably going to say, but a lot of these places don't use the traditional Mexican cheeses. They actually use mozzarella, so wouldn't that disqualify them too? To me, even if they use mozzarella, it's actually more authentic than it would be with a yellow cheese. When immigrants come to a new country, they don't have the same access to ingredients that they did when they were back in their home country. So when they're trying to make their tradition of food, they find the closest fit to the food that they had in their home country. Some people call this food assimilation. I like to just think of it as adapting. Either way, it's the same concept. When immigrants adapt to their new surroundings, the most immediate way this happens is through the food they make. They look around at what's available and try to make it into something that they can recognize. So when they were looking for queso Oaxaca, they would be saying, I want something soft and I want something melty, something stringy, that can go on this dish that will make it closest to the queso Oaxaca that I had at home. That just happens to be the exact same way that you would describe mozzarella cheese, and so they use that in place of queso Oaxaca. So if someone brings you to a new Mexican restaurant you've never been to and you see that yellow cheese, remember to judge it based on Tex-Mex food and not authentic Mexican food so you can get a better judge of how much you like it compared to other Tex-Mex foods.